Gary?
Yeah, it was yeah, it was
50 degrees last night.
I know.
Had the fireplace going.
Did you? Outdoors?
Outside, yeah.
I lit a fire outside too.
Yeah, it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Do some s'mores maybe tonight. I don't know.
Really?
Maybe.
Oh.
Kid likes s'mores.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. You know what I heard someone saying about s'mores? Ultimate s'mores? Replace the Hershey's with a Reese's peanut butter cup?
Yeah, that'd be pretty good, I bet.
I bet it sounds good.
It does sound good.
I know. Like, that's a pretty good idea.
Huh?
Give that a shot.
Yeah, yeah, it's let's see, tonight's going to be the night that we've
The
got...
lights went out in Georgia?
Well, I mean, it's big. We got NBA going on all over tonight.
Oh, wow.
Now,
Excited.
It is. A
It
little
is?
bit.
Why?
Because it's a conference finals.
Oh.
Yeah. And the NHL playoffs is going on as
Game 2
well.
of the West and Game 1 of the East. Is that it? Am I on top of this sports world thing?
Game 2 in the West, yeah, Game 1 in the East.
Look at me.
Yeah, look at you go. Who knew, right?
Things I might read Twitter occasionally.
Yeah. But you might read Twitter every once in a while?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean...
Big news yesterday after we got off the air.
And that is?
The first openly gay active player in the NFL came out yesterday.
That's right. Guess we can just jump into that, yeah.
Yeah.
Carl Nassib became the first. Yeah, he came out there. He's 28 years old. He plays for the Oakland Raiders. Says he was coming out now because representation and visibility are so important. He's donated $100,000 to the Trevor Project, which provides crisis intervention and suicide prevention services for LGBTQ youth. He also wrote, studies have shown that all it takes is one accepting adult to decrease the risk of an LGBTQ kid attempting suicide by 40%. So whether you're a friend, a parent, a coach, or teammate, you can be that person. Some more information. 2014, Michael Sam became the first openly gay player to be drafted in the NFL. He did not make a roster at a training camp, but he did
He played
pave the
for
way.
University of Missouri.
Missouri, that's right. Yeah. So,
I can't remember who drafted him.
I thought it was the Rams.
No,
No?
I don't think so.
Oh.
For some reason.
John Gruden said about Carl's announcement, I learned a long time ago, what makes a man different is what makes him great. So, good job to him. By him, having the courage to do that. I know it must have taken a lot. I think it does say a lot in 2021, in this day and age, when your happy hour talk is really just a shrug of the shoulders, like, good for him.
You're right. He was drafted by the St. Louis Rams.
Okay. But you know what? That says, like, how things have changed. We're just kind of like, good for him. He came out. It's gay. Whereas I think maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago, would have been a little bit different, a little bit more talk.
Absolutely would have been.
So, yeah, and I think that was a rather interesting conversation. It was, he's gay. Okay. And I'm glad that we are in a world that's like that now. But again, it does take courage to do something like that and come out. And there are still people out there that are very anti all that stuff. So hopefully that won't happen again. But yes, other things going on is the NCAA, and we're going to talk actually a little bit more about that in the second hour. Kakert's going to come in.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yeah, look at you.
Get a
Surprising me with stuff.
I
sit in here, you don't tell me nothing.
I know, we're going to talk.
You try to talk to me about Tom Brady, but you don't tell me any of the good stuff.
Well, that's the really thing. I mean, that's... we could talk about this a little bit. That's what blew up the social media yesterday and the internet.
So because you were in the middle of telling me something, then you had to take a phone call.
So...
And I had just caught what you played, and I only caught that like a fraction.
Yeah. So LeBron's got a show on HBO called The Shop.
And they all sit in a barbershop.
Yeah, and they just talk or whatever else.
And this one's got Draymond Green in it,
Yeah.
Tom Brady. There was another guy I didn't recognize.
Yeah.
And then that, God, she looks like She looks like she's had more work done than a remodeled home.
Caitlyn Jenner, I don't know.
Oh, dude, Caitlyn Jenner's hot compared to that lady. That Chelsea Handler.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when they...
She's on it?
Yeah, God, she looks like her face looks just... Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know what... Dude, it's just terrible. When people get that much plastic surgery done, it's gross, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of...
I mean, it's just... Like, why? Why just keep your face normal?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of any of that. So,
like when Jerry Jones... Remember when Jerry Jones got his face stretched?
Yeah.
And he looked like Madam?
Tom Brady, Draymond Green...
You remember Madam the puppet? Or the ventriloquist puppet when he looked like Madam?
Yeah. Where is this at here?
See, there she's right there.
Kid Cudi and Paul Rivera are on there. So, yeah, that's who it was. Tom Brady, Draymond Green.
Well, tell everybody what he says. He's talking about what? He's talking about
last year making his decision where he's going to go. So this is going to be on HBO on this Friday at 9:30. I would assume 8:30 our time.
Maybe he should have said I'm taking my talents to South Beach.
Yeah, so he's talking about basically his free agency following the 2019 season. And it doesn't matter much because they don't show too much.
Right.
But the tease is that he's kind of talking about a certain quarterback, and he says one of the teams they weren't interested at the very end. And he says, I was thinking, you're sticking with that, MFer? And they all laugh or whatever else. So I don't think he ever names him in the show, but obviously people are going to watch it because it's the very first thing on the clip.
Yeah.
It's the very first thing in the clip, and they do it.
Well, do we remember the final teams that were in contention for him?
I have that for you in just a second.
Look at you.
Well, it's kind of like something that's...
And I retweeted a stat, too, that's going to coincide with this thing today. Look at me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. See if I can get this done right.
They weren't interested at the very end. I was thinking, you're sticking with that mother.
Anything you've ever heard me say, I didn't mistakenly say it. When I'm on stage, something inside of me wakes up. But when I'm off stage, I'm Scott. You know I'm a completely different person than you see on the floor.
I'm not here to answer serious questions. I know a lot of men watch this show, and I'm looking for some post-COVID action.
So that's the teaser. So, supposedly everyone's going crazy about this, right? And everyone really thinks... Everyone thinks he wanted to be on the West Coast. People are speculating that it was Jimmy G that he's referring to.
All right. Were they in contention for Brady?
Well,
what do you have down? What did you find for
this is what was on the Dan Patrick show today.
Okay.
The Dan Patrick, he says to the Danettes, did you know that the Bears were in the contention at the end?
Well, that's for sure. Because they had, who started their season? Foles and...
Yeah, and then Trubisky.
Yeah, that would definitely be somebody where you're saying...
So the Bears are involved. The 49ers were involved.
Okay.
And the Chargers. Now there's other speculation
that the... say that about the Chargers.
And the other speculation is about the Colts. But from what Dan Patrick's saying, the final... Dan Patrick
Colts
was
had already signed...
Tyrod Taylor.
Phillip Rivers.
Well, it depends. Where is that? Yeah, at the very end. Yeah, you're right. So the Colts are... So this is what
the Chargers had already made their draft choice for a rookie. They had Tyrod Taylor.
So they're probably out too. It's probably 49ers and Bears. And the final three supposedly were 49ers, Bears, and Buccaneers. And everyone thinks he's talking about Jimmy G.
He's not talking about Jimmy G. He's talking about Biscuit.
Because I don't think he'd say that about Jimmy G. They have the same agent.
They're probably buddies, despite what everybody thinks.
So he's talking. If he's talking about Chicago, and we just got done talking, we've talked at length about the front office of Chicago, what they've done. If they turned away from him and said, no, we're good with Nick Foles
and Jimmy G.
Yeah. And Trubisky.
Biscuit.
If that's who they're talking, the
people in Chicago are going to lose their minds. I tweeted this thing out yesterday. I retweeted it. And I don't know where I'm getting it from, but it's quarterback statistics From 2004 to 2019, this is a winning probability from 0 to 100% in regular weeks, minimum of 2,000 plays, all downs, all quarters, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it ranks the quarterbacks that played in that time frame. And their winning probability percentage. And I want you to take a stab at this.
Okay. It's winning.
So they ranked them 1 through, I'll give you the total number, 1 through 32. And there's some teams that have multiple guys in here, FYI.
So I'm going by teams.
You're not even going by team. There's teams that have multiple players. It's all by quarterbacks. In that time frame, between 04 and 2019, they ranked the quarterbacks that had the biggest percentage of chance to win when they were on the field. And that's guys that had a minimum of 2,000 pass plays.
Okay.
And this is all downs, all quarters, everything. This is in only regular season.
Mm-hmm.
No playoffs. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Regular season quarterbacks.
All right. Well, Tom Brady's on that list.
Tom Brady is number 2.
Aaron Rodgers on that list.
Aaron Rodgers is number 4.
Peyton Manning's on that list.
He is number 1.
Okay. It's 2, 1, 4. Chance percentage to win.
Yes.
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees is number 3.
Okay.
So now you have your top 4.
Okay. 2004 to 2015. Philip Rivers is there. Rodgers is there. Philip is there.
Philip Rivers is number 6.
Okay. Chance to win. Number 6. Eli Manning.
Eli Manning, Jay. This is why this came out because
he's retiring, they're going to do his number.
and they're trying to say he could be a Hall of Famer or not. Eli Manning is 28th.
Okay, that's a big drop right there.
A lot of talk about how he is not worthy to be in the Hall of Fame lately. And I think I had an opinion on this earlier, and I think I'm being swayed. I think I said yes. And now I'm being swayed to no. But keep going. Eli, 28th.
Big Ben.
Big Ben's number 7.
Who am I missing at 5? Okay, so 2004, I gotta put this all together. Grace percentage, whatever else. Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson is number 9.
9. Okay.
I mean, if you're rounding out your top 10,
Uh-huh.
you got 3 spots open.
Okay.
2 of them are from the same team.
From the same team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's Romo and Dak.
Yep.
Yeah.
Romo's number 5, Dak is number 10.
Romo's my 5, Dak is number 10.
You just need your number 8.
Percentage to win. He doesn't have enough years. Patrick Mahomes?
Nope.
Yeah.
He doesn't have enough snaps yet.
Yeah.
He's about a year off this.
Okay. All right. Cam Newton.
No. Cam Newton, Jay, is 21st.
Jeez, Murphy. All right.
I'll give you a hint. He's been to a Super Bowl.
He's been to a Super Bowl.
And I believe he won the MVP that year. But he lost.
Been to the Super Bowl, won the MVP that year, but he lost.
I think he won the MVP that year.
Matt Ryan.
Yep. Matty
Yeah.
Ice is your number 8. You want to hear the rest of them?
Yeah.
As we go? Just
Where's
run through.
Cutler at? No, never mind.
He
If
did
you
not
guys-
make
okay.
32. But
Okay.
at 11, you have Andrew Luck.
Mm.
So Andrew Luck
Yeah.
is above Eli Manning. You're going to love this one.
Sure.
Yeah, and this is what kills me. This guy's at 12, and you know, Eli Manning's at 28. This guy's at 12. Jameis Winston.
Really?
That shocked me all the good. Matty Schaub's at 13. Kirk Cousins at 14. Carson Palmer 15. Jared Goff 16. Carson Wentz 17. Kurt Warner 18. Brett Favre 19. Donovan McNabb 20. Cam Newton 21. I said that earlier. Matthew Stafford 22. Chad Pennington 23. Marcus Mariota 24. David Garrard, remember that guy?
Yeah.
At 26. Colin Kaepernick, 27. Eli already said 28. Fitzmagic, 29. Hasselbeck at 30.
Wow.
Jake Delhomme at 31. And Joe Flacid at 32.
Wow.
I thought that was an interesting little thing when I pulled across that. That was done by... I don't know. It doesn't give me a source on who did this. So I wish I could tell you, but the guy that tweeted it out, I retweeted on mine, so follow me on the Twitter.
On the Twitter.
So,
Okay.
yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, we are going to pack a lot of this NCAA thing in the second hour when we have Cakered in here. We'll talk more about that as well. We're going to take our first break, but I'm going to give you a trivia question before we go to break for the listeners out there and for you, T-Roy.
Okay.
So you might want to write this down because it's a long answer, okay? The Brooklyn Nets are one of 8 teams in the 4 major leagues whose name represents a region rather than a city or a state. Brooklyn is a borough, all right? So the Nets are one of 8 teams in the 4 major leagues whose name represents a region rather than a city or the state. Can you name the other 7? And I will give you a hint, okay?
Okay, non-city state. Okay.
Yep. Here's the other 7. 3 are NFL teams. 2 are NHL teams. 1 other is an NBA team. And 1 is a Major League Baseball team. So, the Nets are one of 8 teams in the 4 major leagues whose name represents a region rather than a city or the state. Brooklyn is a borough. Can you name the other 7? 3 are the NFL, 2 are the NHL, 1 NBA, 1 MLB team. Can you read a promo for me?
I can do that, Jay Bird. Locals love us, everybody. Remember, we told you they helped us out a lot with the golf outing this year. We've given some prizes to everyone. Thanks again to Chopper. And they are the place to go when you are looking for an oil change, a tattoo, or grabbing some lunch. They have a great little guide. It's laying at every site in the Quad Cities. You pick it up, you scroll through it, you find what you're looking for, or go to the website, localsloveus.com. You click on Quad Cities and you browse favorites. It's easy to use, and they're all ranking the places for you. So please try it out today. And our friend Chopper at Locals Love Us, they're your guide to the best. Okay. Think through this real quick.
This is Kirk Wendell, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us. We're local.
We have goat yoga lattes coming up in the
Fitness, personal trainers shouldn't have to personally do everything.
that core. That class started 2 minutes ago. I am late.
Indeed can help them hire the people they need.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hear every game of Chicago White Sox baseball on ESPN 1170 AM.
Back toward the wall, it's gone!
Len Casper and Darren Jackson are on the call. Chicago White Sox baseball on ESPN 1170 is presented by Wheelan Presley Funeral Home and Crematory, Circle Tap, Crawford Company, and Vegas Gaming Cafe. Check ESPN1170am.com for the full White Sox schedule.
Creamy nut butter makes it delightfully sweet. Roasted nuts make it perfectly salty. Get 2 great tastes in one delicious bar. Enjoy a Nature Valley sweet and salty nut bar today.
Pull into Church's today and experience a true original. Bourbon Black Pepper Smokehouse Chicken is back. Peppered and kissed with our bourbon glaze. Only at Church's, only $5. Church's, bringing that down home flavor. Offer valid at participating locations.
On Saturday, August 21st, over 100 courageous people are rappelling down 11 stories at the Hotel Blackhawk to raise money for Big Brothers Big Sisters.
I'm Matt Ostrom from Active Endeavors. You can help kids in the Quad Cities by supporting an Edger today.
Register as an individual or grab a friend and sign up as a daring duo. Help ignite potential in Quad City kids. For more information, go to overtheedgeqc.org.
Find a friend and go over the edge.
Tyson's is more than a store, because when our neighbors need something, we're here to help. You choose Tyson's because you're more than just a customer. You're our brothers, sisters, friends.
Their name is not a representative of a city or a state.
It's not named after a city or a state. It represents a region. It does not represent.
Oh my God, there's 3 in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I'm struggling here.
This doesn't make any sense. Wait.
You know, I only really got one. One's a question.
One's not right in the NFL.
One of the answers.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
What's the one you think's not right?
You can get rid of these symptoms with testosterone replacement. Start living your best life today.
It's not a city.
Complimentary consult at
Florida. Is it?
Jacksonville, is it?
No, you're...
Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay.
It's Tampa.
It's Tampa.
All right, I got
So
the,
there's
well,
3 of them.
one,
There's
but-
3 of them when it comes down to Tampa Bay. That's what's going to throw everybody off, okay?
So the other one is the MLB.
You know what? And Brad's right here. They're off on... This isn't a right question.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to question those two because that makes the one MLB because now MLB, they're all cities other than that one. Is it the same answer? Is it still Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
For MLB?
He's right.
And the 2 NHL?
Brad's right, though. Brad's right. That's really interesting. We're going to have a
So
question.
so the NHL, one of them is the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yep. You get Rays, Lightning, and Buccaneers. Yeah.
So there's 3. So I need one more NHL and one more NBA. Oh boy.
Celebrate Dad all month in Napa with the Evercraft 100-piece.
This is a good question.
To a regular person, that might seem like an excessive number of screwdrivers, but to Dad, that's just being prepared, like buying a paper map in case the GPS goes rogue. That's the Evercraft 100-piece screwdriver set for $19.99.
All right,
Quality parts,
Warriors.
helpful people. That's Napa know-how. At participating
Even though it
locations,
says Golden State, it's not its name in the state. So that's the one. And then
Picture this. Picture the Girl Scout Thin Mints Blizzard. You see 2 iconic treats blending together in a mesmerizing swirl of pieces of Thin Mints cookies, cool mint, and world-famous DQ soft serve. You smile the biggest smile you've ever smiled. It's a good smile because your 2 favorites, DQ and Girl Scout Thin Mints, are together in one delicious treat. And the only reason you stop smiling is so you can start eating. The Girl Scout Thin Mints Blizzard, exclusively at DQ. Get it delivered at DQ.com. DQ. Happy taste good.
Your sports leader is new and different every day. Download the ESPN 1170 app today.
I'll bring it back. Welcome back. Don't Hassle So Local here on ESPN 1170 AM. It's Tuesday, June 22nd here in the Hassle Castle. We're going to take us through this trivia question that I gave to you right here in a second. But first, we got to look at some scores from yesterday.
I think I have them. But
All
we
right.
think we have a debate with these.
Yeah, I think we have a debate with them too. But let's take a look at some of the scores yesterday. New York Mets won the first game against Atlanta Braves. They won 4-2. They lost the second game 1-0. The Astros beat the Orioles 10-2 on the road. The Indians outlasted the Cubs, actually shut them out 4-0. Rangers were at home against the Athletics. They won 8-3. The Twins beat the Cincinnati Reds in 12 innings. The Diamondbacks snapped a 17-game losing streak. They still have that road losing streak going on. But the 17-game losing streak is the longest in franchise history. That's the first game they won since June 1st. They beat the Milwaukee Brewers 5-1. And the Padres beat the Dodgers 6-2. So, like I said, the D-backs snapped a 17-game losing streak. And, we haven't seen a 17-plus game losing streak since 2011. Before that, 2005. Then you have to go all the way back to 1988 when Baltimore had 21 in a row. And the Phillies had 23 in a row in 1961. Jacob deGrom, has gone 12 consecutive starts with allowing 1 or less earned runs. So that's impressive. And around the diamond tonight, we've got games that are going on right now. Cincinnati's at Minnesota. Wade Miley's on the mound for them. And the rest are all night games. Houston's at Baltimore. Kansas City Royals go to New York Yankees. Philly plays host to the Nationals. The White Sox hit the road in a league game against Pittsburgh Pirates. Lucas Giolito will be on the mound there. 3.86 ERA for them. For Lucas, he is 5-5 on the year. St. Louis at Detroit. Miami will host the Toronto Blue Jays. The Mets and Atlanta continue their series in New York. Boston and the Rays will get after it in an AL East battle. Cleveland continues the series against the Cubs. Kyle Hendricks will be throwing for the Cubs. The man in the yellow hat has a 9-4 ERA with a 9-4 record with a 4.13 ERA. Let's see, Oakland and Texas will be a 7:05 first pitch. The Giants and the Angels interleague game will be going on. Milwaukee and Arizona continue. The Dodgers and Padres, another game. Clayton Kershaw versus Blake Snell. Blake Snell's not really having that great of a year. Kershaw is 8.6, 3.36 ERA in Colorado at the Mariners. All right, so I gave you the question, and I do have a problem with this, and I do believe I'm going to send in an email. Not that a strongly worded one, but I do like Kendall Baker a lot from Axial Sports, and he does give us some pretty good trivia questions.
But he was wrong on something yesterday, too.
He wasn't. That guy won the Open Championship, not the U.S. Open. He was right.
All right. U.S. Open.
But this is so I gave you the trivia question, and it was, the Nets are one of 4 major league teams, one of 4 teams in the major leagues whose name represents a region rather than a city or the state. Brooklyn is a borough. I said, can you name the other 7? 3 NFL teams, 2 NHL teams, 1 NBA, 1 MLB team, right? And what did you give me?
Well, this doesn't make sense to me then.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because you and I are going through this. So, for sure, it's the Carolina Panthers and the Carolina Hurricanes.
For sure.
It's not a North or South Carolina.
There
it's
you go.
Carolina.
Those are definitely it, yeah.
So that gives me 1 NFL.
And 1 NHL.
And 1 NHL.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 1 and 1.
Yep.
Okay, so I got Panthers and Hurricanes off. You got the New England Patriots.
Definitely.
Okay. You got, for the 1 NBA team, you've got the Golden State Warriors.
Yep.
Now, when it gets to baseball, there isn't a team, and this is where you and I got in the debate with this. So I need another. All right. So now my other thought is this: if Washington D.C. considered a city?
That's exactly it. It's not. It's a district, right?
So then I would say it's the Washington football team gives me my other NFL team. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then the Washington Capitals give me my other NHL team. But at the same time, aren't the Washington Wizards there? So wouldn't that give me a second NBA team? You follow me?
Yeah. I agree.
So wouldn't that give me a second NBA team? But you told me, because I said, Jay, and I go, and you said Brad was giving you some stuff about an answer. You're telling me that they're saying the Tampa Bay Bucks, the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Tampa Bay Lightning are the other ones.
Yes, because it's technically
Tampa. Not Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, and you give me those 3, then that gives me a 4th NFL team.
Yeah, he does not list
another NHL team.
Yes.
And the final MLB team. So that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The Brooklyn Nets make 11.
Yeah, I know. It's the Washington area that he's leaving off.
He left the Washington area off?
Yeah. He added the Tampa Bay, but he doesn't put the Washington. I mean, he doesn't put Washington on there because it's not named after a city or state. Washington Redskins, Washington football team, whatever else. It's not Washington D.C. Washington Wizards, not Washington.
It's not the Washington D.C. Wizards,
no, it's
is it? It's Washington. It's named after a person. Washington is a state, which they are not located in that state.
And it's not Washington, Maryland. It is Washington, D.C.
Correct.
So he has left those off. You found the loophole, and Brad found it as well, too.
Yeah.
But the Tampa Bay one is interesting because right away you're like, no. And I was like, this is wrong. Tampa Bay's wrong. And then I'm like, wait. And then I looked at you and I was like, St. Petersburg? And you're like, no, it's Tampa, Florida. I'm like, that's what it is. But I do think that, I think they left off the Washington. So
But he follow me here.
Mm-hmm.
If he's leaving off Washington, we have the Carolina Panthers and the New England Patriots. We only have 2.
You have Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And then he's saying Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think he's wrong.
I'm not disagreeing.
I mean, I'm fine with Tampa Bay being in there.
Mm-hmm.
I get it, but Washington has to be in there, right?
I think Washington has to be in there. That's the thing, and I think it was just an oversight on there. And then, again, I mean, people are human. That's what happens. But I think it's an oversight on their part.
Well, either way.
So yesterday we were talking about the Chicago Bears and the possibility of them moving because they bid on the place in Arlington, right?
Yes.
Well, the mayor came back again, clapped back again.
Which one?
The mayor of Chicago, not Mayor Hayes of Arlington.
Just say Beetlejuice. Come on. Call her
Lightfoot.
by
Her name is
name.
Lightfoot. So she came. Her thing was that she, as a lifelong Bears fan and a season ticket holder,
Yeah.
she would like it if the Bears focused on more things like beating the Green Bay Packers and winning a game.
She's not getting reelected, dude.
After December.
She is not. Maybe she should focus on crime in her city and not getting her hair done when she's telling everybody else not to get their hair done.
Oh.
I mean, and the fact that she thinks that anybody thinks that she's good looking, that she has to get her hair done. Oh my God. I'm glad we don't live in Chicago. I wouldn't live in that city for you gave me $400 million.
I wouldn't either. But I've been that way the entire
it.
time. I've never been a big huge fan. But
packed like sardines.
That's
wide
not
open
bad like
spaces.
New York.
It seems like it to me.
Huh?
I don't like it. As I get older, I'm like, screw that place.
I'm not a fan of it. I don't know why. I don't know how people are.
I mean, whatever. It's fun to go. Don't get me wrong. I do like going to Chicago. I have a blast every time I go. But if I had to deal with that lady as a mayor, nah. We got Bob Gallagher. We got the best mayor in the world. Right in Bettendorf, Iowa.
He is very good.
I'll take him ADL over Beetlejuice.
That's right, and he can definitely get after it for takedowns.
Yeah, he can wrestle. Our mayor will out-wrestle any mayor in America. Boom. I said it. There you go, Bob. I'm getting you in fights.
Yeah, don't do that.
He's going to call. Troy, knock it off.
Yeah, he's going to text me and say, like, what are you doing?
Like, oh, you wanted that special liquor license this month. Well, looks like you're getting denied, bud. Damn it. I didn't mean it.
So, looking at our friends at CBS Sports, they, again... what? Go on.
I don't know, just giggling at what you're telling me. I mean, why does... I mean...
Why did she say it? Because what she does is she's asked for questions in her press conference and like, hey, by the way, the Bears bought this thing. And she needs to look like she's tough because the mayor of Arlington already clapped back at her and said any good lawyer can get out of a lease.
Yeah.
So she needs to act like it's not happening. And right now I think the Bears should focus on beating the Green Bay Packers and winning the game in the postseason. And it's just to be, it's for clicks and to be like, it doesn't bother.
It's just petty. I think she's just, all you need to say is like, you know what, we really want the Bears to stay. We'll look at it as the future goes or whatever. I mean, just because they bid on it too doesn't mean they bought it, right?
Yeah.
It's not been purchased. If you want them to leave, treat them like that. They'll leave for sure.
I was looking at the thing on CBS Sports by Jason La Canfora, and I was looking at the NFL, and he makes a list because, why? Because it's June 22nd, and there's not a lot going on. I mean, we can break down the ESPYs and everything else. But, also in the NBA tonight, the lottery happens tonight, so if that's a big deal to you.
I am very excited about that, Jay.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be watching that with
he's made a list. I want you to, I'll give you a description if you want, but he's made a list of possible NFL make or break players and coaches who could determine their team's fate this season. All right, you tell me if you agree or disagree.
All right, and then I want to go back to that NBA draft.
Okay, do you want to talk about it now?
Just real quick.
Okay.
Who's the number one pick?
In the NBA draft?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
That's what I'm saying. Who
came? Well, when we know once this is what they need.
But who's the kid that came out? Who's the one who's the big hoopla around? There wasn't a Zion this year.
It's a great question.
Zion, there's nobody that you're like. Luka Garza was the NCAA Player of the Year. I love Luka to death. Don't get me wrong, but Luka's not the number 1 overall pick.
No.
Weezy's not the number 1 overall pick.
No.
I mean, who is it?
I'll pull this up.
I don't know.
Let's do.
Just think about it. Jordan was picked, I think, 3rd.
Here we go. NBA. We'll just go. Why don't we, instead of doing CBS Sports or ESPN why don't we go to NBADraft.net?
You think they have it?
Yeah, they do. They've got a mock draft.
Okay.
So there are some names that I can remember. Okay.
Okay.
Cade Cunningham.
No.
He's a projected number 1. He's a point guard, shooting guard out of Oklahoma State. I do remember him from the NCAA tournaments. I used to keep on. Evan Mobley, power forward center out of USC.
Nope.
7 foot tall, 215 pounds, freshman. Jalen Green. He's coming out of the G League.
Okay.
Jalen Suggs.
Remember that name?
Yep, Gonzaga. A freshman. These
Yeah,
guys, they're all freshmen. They either played in the G League or they're all freshmen up until actually the first 8 out of the first 10 projected are all freshmen. So they're all 19-year-olds, whatever it was. Jonathan Kernings out of the G League. Scotty Barnes from Florida State.
Don't remember Scotty.
He's a shooting forward, power forward. James Bouknight. I remember that name, from UConn. Oh,
Who
yeah,
won the NCAA tournament this year?
Gonzaga. No, they lost to Baylor. Baylor won.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they worked him. Moses Moody from Arkansas. Keon Johnson from Tennessee. And Davion Mitchell is the projected 10th overall.
All right.
Now,
I'm
let's
sorry I
see.
asked.
No, I know. Let me see where we're at here. They have... They don't even have him picked.
In the top one?
In the first 2 rounds, that's all it is. They don't even have Luka picked.
Yeah.
That's in the NBADraft.net. Let's do one more real quick just to see how it compares. We'll look at CBS Sports. Not that we're not company men ESPN, but it comes right up there.
Megan Gustafson got signed by the Washington basketball team. I think of the name.
Okay.
They're not the Wizards.
Mystiques.
They're the Mystiques, yeah.
I'm glad I know that. Cade Cunningham is a projected number 1. Jalen Suggs for CBS. Jalen Green, we talked about him. Jonathan Kuminga. Evan Mobley, we mentioned him. Scotty Barnes. Davion Mitchell. James Bouknight. Franz Wagner. Corey Kispert. And...
Franz Wagner. He's from Germany?
Yeah. Man, oh man.
Isn't he the kid
I
from
do remember
Michigan?
Zaire Williams and that name. Chris Duarte, I remember that for Oregon. Okay, Kai Jones, Trey Mann. Is it Jackson? Moses Moody, there he is. I'm really not lying to you, folks. I'm looking for Luka to see him on here. And I thank goodness we're going to have Kakert in here in the second hour. He's obviously not going first round, but we'll see where he's going to go.
Weezy has to go in what round to not come back to Iowa? The second?
He's not coming back. He'll sign a non-drafted free agent contract or whatever else. He's not coming back.
For sure.
That's what Kakert said. He said he was 99.9% sure he's not coming back.
Well, then that at least so you're telling me there's a chance?
They're saying a chance, yeah.
Hey, still giving me a chance.
All right, looking at this list.
All right, this is the what? No.
This is the CBS Sports, the NFL. Make or break players and coaches who could determine their team's fate this season.
Okay.
Start with the NFC East. You tell me if you agree or disagree.
Okay.
Montez Sweat.
4.
It's just, could he make or break? It's got to be.
Who does he play for?
He plays for, the Washington football team.
I don't even know what position he plays.
He's on the defense, so he's a D-back. Cowboys, Tyron Smith.
Yeah. Tyron Smith is their offensive tackle. I mean, he's coming off an injury that ended his season last year, like game 3. Yeah, he protects Dak's blindside. It's huge. They did draft and free agent people in to help fix that situation if it happens again. But yeah, I mean, without him, it's a huge difference. They need that whole O-line to stay healthy.
For the New York Giants, Kenny Galladay.
Yeah, they need him to come in and be a big-time play receiver. They haven't had a big-time play receiver. I would also add Saquon coming back and staying healthy to that list.
Yeah, I think
that's huge for the Giants.
He's agreeing it. No one else was going to give him $36 million guaranteed. So
yeah, and then Danny Dimes needs to step up.
For the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
that's a no-brainer.
I mean,
right?
he's the
taking over after Carson Wentz.
He's taking over. It's they gave him a weapon. He's got a new head coach. It's him and the head coach are intertwined in that one.
The AFC East for the Buffalo Bills, Cole Beasley.
No, they don't need Cole. No.
So here's the reasoning behind it.
Okay.
He's the anti-vax guy.
Yeah.
And is he going to do something in the locker room to upset the balance if he doesn't get it vaccinated?
I don't know. He doesn't. Listen, Cole Beasley is a fine athlete, and I don't have a problem with him being anti-vax. But he does not make or break that team. I'm sorry. I'm not going. I don't. Unless he gives the entire team COVID, which he can't if they're all vaccinated.
It's not true. That is not true.
What's not true?
That they can't. They're vaccinated. It is the vaccination is not to. It's to lessen the severity of it.
Right.
I mean,
So,
I was driving.
so
Listen, no.
so
Hear me out. Listen to me. I was driving from from Green Valley, from Illinois. There is a billboard on John Deere Road in Illinois, and it says "All in Illinois," and it clearly says, big in letters, the vaccination will lessen the severity of COVID. It does not say vaccination will keep you free of it.
Okay, fine.
Will you look up while you're on there? Hey Siri, what's the definition of vaccination?
No, I'm with you.
Okay,
I don't.
Why are we calling it a vaccination if it's just?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is that if you have the vaccination, it lessens what it's going to do to you. If you're a star athlete, you're going to be fine if you have the vaccination.
We talked about, and I know I'm going off topic. We talked about it yesterday with Merrick briefly. Here's what the NFL and the NFLPA have agreed to for COVID-19 protocols.
Okay.
And this is for training camp and preseason, okay? So they haven't come up with anything for the season. But here's, based on the memo, it says how different life will be for vaccinated and unvaccinated people. Players in the NFL. Fully vaccinated people. No daily testing. Masks and physical distancing not required. No travel restrictions. May interact with friends, family during team travel. May eat with teammates and use sauna steam room. No social/media/marketing/sponsorship restrictions. Meaning you can go out and do whatever you got to do. You can go cut a commercial. You can go sign autographs. Do whatever you want to do. So, not fully vaccinated. You will have daily testing. Masks and physical distancing is required. You will have travel restrictions. You may not interact with friends and family during team travel. You may not eat with teammates or use the sauna or the steam room. And there is no social or media or marketing or sponsorship activities permitted.
Looks like he's going to be doing a lot of that.
16 of the NFL's 32 teams have over 50% of their roster fully vaccinated. There was 3 with over 75%.
Okay. I just disagree that it doesn't matter what happens with Cole Beasley. He's not a factor on that team.
I agree. Iowa is somewhere between 50 and 60% fully vaccinated. Illinois is the same.
Yeah, Iowa's rocking. We're way up there.
The states that are less than 50%, Wyoming, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Yeah, so the Midwest, we're at Heartland. Wisconsin, Minnesota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Illinois, Kansas, all of us, we're all right there. North Dakota is just right between 50 and 60. We're between 60 and 70, so good for them. All right, so you don't think I don't think Cole Beasley makes a difference. He doesn't make a difference in my life. He doesn't make a difference in the NFL world.
He just sends out a dumb tweet. He did a note tweet or whatever. He
wrote it on
He wrote it on notes and then he
tweeted
tweeted it. Yeah, and I'm like, okay,
because it doesn't have enough characters.
Yeah, good for you, Cole. I'm glad you're taking your stance, bud.
Yeah,
I don't care. It doesn't. Live your life, man. Those are restrictions you're gonna have to live by. If you don't, then there you go.
Some of these you make this list, and it's just kind of like they I think they just had to do one for everyone. Yeah, Patriots. He put down Trent Brown and Kyle Van Noy. All right, yeah.
Sure.
The Dolphins, and Merrick could be able to tell us more, but George Goodsey, Eric Studsfeld, the co-offensive coordinators.
Okay.
The Jets. This one makes sense to me. Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
You know, it's not much after that. Make or break your team, I guess. It's for the NFC South, Tampa Bay, Tom Brady. I guess it's more like if he's going to deal with is old age going to catch up with him or not? Probably not.
No.
The Saints this is an interesting one. Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
It's even bigger than Jameis Winston. Yeah.
They don't even know who the starter is. Yeah.
For the Carolina Panthers, Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, coming back healthy. Huge.
For the Falcons, this is a lot to ask for the kid. Kyle Pitts.
He's got a lot of receptions to fill, per se.
Are you gonna put a lot of stock into Kyle Pitts when it comes to fantasy football season?
I mean, I'd draft him if he's there. Probably.
How high do you think he's gonna go in an auction?
Money wise?
Yeah.
$25.
That's a lot for a tight end. I mean, Kelsey would go higher than that, but
yeah,
that's pretty high.
Kittle would go higher than that.
In the AFC South, for the Colts, Carson Wentz. Makes sense to me, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
For the Tennessee Titans, Julio Jones.
Oh, yeah. I mean, staying healthy.
If he's not healthy, I guess that's a good one. For the Jaguars, I like this one. Urban Meyer.
Absolutely.
This one makes sense to me, too. Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just legalish. He's got nothing to do with his play on the field.
That's quieted down quite a bit, too, hasn't it? I haven't heard much about that in a while.
Let's continue it after we take a break, and then we'll do the rest of listening. Tom Caton will join us in the studio. We'll take a quick break here at ESPN 1170 AM.
All right, everybody. Locally owned since 1934, Tri-City Equipment has been your source for restaurant equipment and value in the Quad Cities ever since. If you're looking to cater an event or just looking for something for your home chef, check them out online at tricityequipment.com, or please stop down to 527 West 4th Street in Davenport and look at their newly remodeled 2,400 square foot showroom. They deliver to all Quad City residents and match online pricing, so no need to shop at any big box store. Call them today, 563-322-5382. Showroom hours, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. That's Tri-City Equipment, 527 West 4th Street in Davenport. How are the comments going? Good, bad, ugly? How are our comments?
This is Len Casper, the voice of the Chicago White Sox. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 1170.
At Bowles Builders, demand is through the roof. To keep up, his business needs a stronger foundation.
Just one sec. Bowles Builders, this is Bow. This weekend? Yeah, we can do it.
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job.
Ben, you let him in, or is he good?
Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75
What?
Ben, you let him in?
I don't think so. I don't know if he's here yet.
That in sports, it pays to be fast. Download the PointsBet app now and use code Iowa2K to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. When you bet with PointsBet, you get better odds and bigger payouts, all on a fast and reliable sportsbook. With the top promotions and offers in the U.S., earn rewards with every bet placed. Free bets, odds boosters, and risk-free bets are updated daily and ready to maximize your payouts. Bet your way with unique features found only on PointsBet, like parlay boosts, single-game parlays, name a bet, and so much more. So download the app now and sign up with code Iowa2K to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Plus, with PointsBet, you get fast deposits and fast withdrawals that are always safe and secure. Sign up for PointsBet and start winning today. Time is money, and it pays to be fast. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. Download the PointsBet app now and use code Iowa2K to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. PointsBet understands that in sports, it pays to be fast.
Unfiltered. Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Zubin Mehenti.
Does Aaron Rodgers get moved before the season starts?
The 2 teams in the AFC for me would be the Raiders. And I know they got Carr, but you send Carr back to Green Bay. I know John Gruden, he's probably sitting there just trying to figure out how to get that done. He's never satisfied the quarterback spot. Never. Think about it. He tried to get Brett Favre when Brett was 60. So, I mean, but if you think about it, though, as far as location goes,
Vegas would be optimal. Obviously, Bay Area, where you feel like that would have really been.
That's why he was
better
really
for him.
pushing.
Yeah.
He was really pushing for that San Francisco opportunity because they had a winning team.
You know, the week after 4th of July, I got hazy.
We shouldn't be in here. The plan is not to be in here.
I know, but
if anything else happens, you mean?
I didn't know if we were gonna do any sort of extension. If we end up doing the
We won't know anything till
John
really
Deere Classic
tomorrow or whatever else. But looking for July would be after would be the John Deere Classic.
Yeah. And if I have to, I'll get something to take care of her for doing the classic show.
Okay.
When do you sit down with
tomorrow?
Unlike the box stores, we let you drive it before you buy it.
Kind of see where it goes. See
See
what they want to do. It does mean something. It's semi-significant that they are not involving the advertising guy.
Fucking cross our fingers, right?
Wheel and Presley's pre-arrangement policies are guaranteed to be there when needed. You can even begin the pre-arranging process from home. Log on to wheelandpresley.com or contact us to get started. Trusted over 130 years, Wheel & Presley Funeral Home and Crematory.
We would be honored and privileged to serve you.
This is Green with Mike Greenberg.
What I am about to tell you is my opinion. It is not a statement of fact. I believe that
Dad kind of wanted it.
49ers changed their minds on the decision between Mac Jones and Trey Lance
memorials.
somewhere deep into the
Have
process.
the visitation.
I don't think this was all one big smokescreen.
I think that's awesome that Dad really cared.
I think they legitimately changed their minds.
That people from
And as a
AA
consequence,
wanted
they
to come
take
see him,
Trey Lance instead.
but they could also go. They could have gone and seen him in the
I don't know this
hospital
for
room. Like,
certain.
I'm not standing around for
But if
3
I had
hours
to bet
to have
money
people
that
tell me how my
I would
dad
bet
changed their
that
life and got him out of the depths of hell and the rock bottom. I said, sorry, right now. You can do. You set that up.
So he helped one of Amy's co-workers'
That would have changed
husband.
everything.
Yeah, he was his
Obviously, the draft falls the way the
He did a
draft
lot of
falls
stuff.
because quarterbacks went 1,
And a
2,
lot of his
3,
time
but not 4. I think
checking in
Lance,
on people.
when all is said and
I mean, a
done,
lot of people
was the guy
that
everybody
I don't know message me and said, like,
Weekdays, 9 till
how,
11.
even when he was sick, how was your dad? You don't know me. How's your dad? But he used to like check in every week and talk with me and see how I was doing. And now I'm worried about him. Yeah.
Dolan Jewelers, dreams do come true. With the purchase of your engagement ring and diamond from Dolan Jewelers, you can borrow up to $25,000 worth of our jewelry to wear on your wedding day, absolutely free. Shop our huge selection of popular engagement rings, as well as his and her wedding bands. Financing is always
Yeah, in the back of the tips were I don't think anybody really knew me. Tiffany wasn't going to tell him. I didn't tell Rosie till maybe a couple weeks ago. Rosie from, Tips for Tad.
Yeah, you kind of.
It's still kind of a kick in the balls that it was for melanoma my dad.
I know that. I did it in a very.
I think it's perfect.
I think it
I think it's perfect. All right, ready?
He had to know, right?
Yeah.
And he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's important that we keep raising money because now we lost somebody. All right, you ready?
All right, everybody, we're back. Thanks again for tuning in to Don't Hassle Us or Local. We have the best intro song in the business.
It really is a good song.
God, that's a great song.
All right, we'll be joined here soon by Tom Kakert from Hawkeye Report. We haven't seen him in a couple weeks or so. It should be fun to talk to him. We are just looking at a list by Jason LaCanfora from CBS Sports, and like most people at this time, they're trying to find things to write about, to make some content, get some clicks, and it worked because nothing better than talking about the NFL. So he made a list of all the teams that are make or break players or coaches for each NFL team, and we've looked at the AFC East, NFC East, AFC South, NFC South. Now we're looking at the NFC North. He's got listed for the Vikings Irv Smith Jr., the tight end, former second rounder.
For who?
The Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But now I'm looking at maybe I need to look into Irv Smith, and if I can't get Kyle Pitts stock, if this guy's supposed to be it for Kirk Cousins, a little security blanket, then so be it. The Packers obviously is Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah.
There you go. The Bears, Justin Fields. That's the make or break.
Yeah. I'm with you.
For the Detroit Lions, Jeff Okudah. Second-year defensive back, right?
Yeah.
Cornerback. Okay. AFC North. The Cleveland Browns. Jadeveon Clowney. I didn't even say that right. How do I not know? Why am I Jadeveon? What's wrong with me? I hear that name all the time. All right, so that's going to be one. Obviously, he's going to be on the other side of Myles Garrett. The defense is going to be big for Cleveland this year. Ravens, Bradley Boozman is the center. Okay. Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Bengals, Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
That's got to be it because they have to. He's got to put up with Jamar Chase to show to, when he said that basically he got his guy. He didn't get an offensive,
Well,
they could have, but they did fine in the offseason.
Yeah, they got.
Yeah, they did later on. Yeah.
Yeah, later on, Liam Eichenberg, Jaybird.
Yeah.
Or no, Jackson Carman. My bad. That's what I told him they take.
In the NFC West, you've got Raheem Morris, defensive back, and for the Rams. Seahawks, Dwayne Brown.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, you need someone on the offensive line to protect Russell Wilson. For the 49ers, Trent Williams, the left tackle for them.
He's going to do fine. What do they mean?
He's
a beast.
Yeah, he's one of the best left tackles in the game is what it says, but injuries have been a constant for this team, and he has had bad injury luck.
Okay, well, I didn't think that. He was healthy all last year, so...
And for the Cardinals, one of the best pass rushers playing right now and in the game, and therefore their franchise, Chandler Jones. And now he's got J.J. Watt to go with, right?
Yeah, take a little bit of pressure off of him.
So for the AFC West, for the Chiefs, they have Orlando Brown.
Okay.
They traded for him, right?
Yeah, he came from Buffalo.
Yeah. They gave up their 31st pick for him.
Yeah.
For the Broncos, Von Miller.
Yeah, coming back off injury. Season ending injury last year.
For the Raiders, Gus Bradley.
Okay.
And they're going to be their defensive coordinators. Why would the Raiders get Gus Bradley after the Chargers got rid of him when they lose so many games late in the season? I know that's on Anthony Lynn, but all right, Raiders, whatever.
Well, they got a whole new head coaching staff in the Charger land.
Yeah, Chargers, Joey Bosa.
Yeah, you got...
Now that you mention that, the coaching staff, you know what my favorite thing to talk about, if we're going to continue the NFL...
Coach's hot seat.
That's right.
There's Caker. Who
Yes.
do you think's on the hot seat?
Who do I think's on the hot seat? Jason Garrett.
He's not head coaching.
Doesn't matter. I think for offensive... So I think it's a matter of offensive... I think offensive coordinator now, he's got to see what he can do with Danny Dimes, Saquon Barkley, and Galladay in there.
Well, I'll tell you who's on the hot seat.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, there's plenty on the hot seat.
The dude from the Cardinals.
Cliff Kingsbury's on the hot seat. Mike McCarthy's on the hot seat.
Yep.
Those two are definitely on the hot seat. And Matt Nagy's on the hot seat.
He's not. I don't think so.
Well, I think he should be.
He is.
All right.
All right.
Look at Caker just come firing in with that. He is.
Nagy is on my hot seat.
He's definitely on mine. All right, so Tom Caker from Hawkeye Reports in here. Tom, good to see you, buddy. How was your Father's Day?
It was good.
Good.
I think Zimmer is.
I think Zimmer is in Minnesota.
I think the guy in Green Bay is on a hot seat.
Yeah.
Well,
LeFleur.
LeFleur.
He's on Aaron Rodgers' hot seat.
He's really not. Rodgers likes him. It's the general manager.
I don't think he liked his decision.
Oh no, he didn't like that at all.
I don't think he liked his decision.
Certainly didn't get him into the Super Bowl.
Well,
so we were talking earlier, Tom, when we broke the show.
Yeah. Well,
did you see who Tom Brady? There's a clip of Tom Brady saying, "Yeah," and I was thinking you're going to stay with that effing guy.
Have you seen that?
Or whatever.
Oh, no, he's on
the shop.
He's on the LeBron show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's talking about there was a team that pulled out at the very end.
And he goes, "You're sticking with that MFer?"
Yeah.
All right.
And everyone's
They're trying to speculate who it is.
trying to figure out who it is. Who he's talking about.
It's two teams. It's the Bucks or Bears.
We think it was 49ers or Bears.
Or 49ers or Bears, sorry. So his last 3 teams were the Bucks, Bears, Niners. So
Is that what he told you?
No.
That's
Yeah, that's what Tom Brady told me.
Yeah, he called Jay.
That apparently, that's what Dan Patrick said on the show this morning. That he's like, did you know the Bears were in the final running, and it was like, and 49ers and them. But I also said I also speculated that Chargers were there as well. There's a lot of speculation. It's Colts, Chargers, 49ers, Bears. I think that's about it. He wanted to be on the West Coast, but really it was only if he was on the 49ers. I think I feel like it might be the Bears. I think they really it makes sense.
God, it's gonna kill me.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So-
why would he want to go there though? Why would he want to go to the Bears?
I don't know. Money.
Think about this. You're Tom Brady, and you bring a championship to Chicago. You know how that city loves their heroes.
Yeah,
I mean, Dicka is a man. I mean, he could.
He had no talent to deal with on the offensive
but
side.
in his eyes, they all come. In his eyes, he would have brought Gronk, and he would have brought Antonio Brown. You would have had Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson is an underrated guy.
Sure.
I mean, the amount of passes he catches with the 2 ding-dongs he had thrown to him last year,
Yeah.
Allen Robinson is talented. He doesn't need much else. The old line was solid in defense. The Bears' defense is great. Oh, he knew what he was doing. He makes the difference all day long.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. And they had that breakout tight end too last year. Cole Hammett, or what's his name?
Cole Kmet.
Kmet, yeah.
Didn't they lose the Bears last year?
They certainly did, didn't they?
Okay. Did you see Kittle on First Take today?
No. Was
All
he
right.
on- was he have his man bun going?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he was on First Take today, and
George.
jeez, why don't we just play it?
Just play it, Jay.
I'm going to.
Jay,
What?
what are you doing?
Plug it in so we can hear it.
I don't
Yeah.
give him a hard time.
High-tech operation you got going.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Jay's he's the show host and you turned the thing off.
I did turn it off because there's going to be an ad first, and I didn't want to do that. I'm trying to don't
God,
let
look
people
at you.
behind the scenes.
I'm just trying to help, man. I don't
Yeah.
want to get yelled at again.
So apparently he's explaining why Tim Tebow wasn't invited to Tight End Yo.
Oh God, this ought to be great.
Yeah, it sounds great. No.
Discriminate?
Unmute.
I wanted you to tell us exactly why y'all decided to come up with this idea, and exactly what do you believe you guys are going to bring to the table for each other.
This is Kittle Robert Tunyon.
Teaching one another about that position, or elevating your level of knowledge about that position, compared to what an actual position coach or an offensive coordinator or a head coach can bring. What are players themselves going to bring to the table that you can't get from learning from your coaches at the tight end spot?
Well, I mean, I think the best thing about tight end U is you're bringing together, and I think I said this on your show, I think that tight end is one of the most diverse positions in football because there's only one true starter on Sundays. There's one guy. So there's 32 starters in the NFL on every given Sunday. And all these tight ends are so vastly different. I mean, you got guys like Mercedes Lewis, who's been in the league 17 years. You got Kyle Pitts, who's a rookie. You got a guy like Luke Stocker, who's going into year 10, and he has 70 catches in his career, but he's played football for 10 years. And you got Evan Ingram, you got O.J. Howard, you got all these guys that just are so different, but they all play the same position. So my goal is to bring all these guys together, and because tight end's a position where you have to run block, pass pro, run routes, catch the ball, run routes on DBs, you have to get to the second level on linebackers, run routes against safeties. Like, you kind of have to do everything. So why not bring all of the world's best to one location and then learn from each other? So like a guy like Kyle Pitts or a second-year guy like Cole Kmet, they can come in and they can learn, hey, this is how Travis Kelce runs a corner post in the red zone, but this is how I get to the second level on my run block. And it just allows these guys to learn about every single aspect of their game, because if you can play the tight end, if you can play the tight end position and do everything at a very high level, then there's not really anything a defense can do against him. Because what are you going to do? Line up a safety in you in the box, and all of a sudden you call it a run play, and you drive him 10 yards back and you pancake him. Like, all right, then you got to put a linebacker on you. Then next thing you know, you're running a corner route.
Clip isn't much going.
Dropping you a dime, and then you're running for a touchdown. There's just so many things that tight end can do, and so when you can bring all the best in the game to learn from each other, you're gonna get guys that are elevating their game and are playing the position at a higher level week in and week out.
That wasn't the clip I was looking for. I don't know why they added it in there, the article. So obviously it's ESPN's clickbait, so thanks to Michael DiRocco for that. But when asked why they didn't invite Tim Tebow, he said, if I can't invite every tight end, how do I not invite a second or third string guy on a team that's been playing tight end since he was 18 years old in high school. Nothing against Tebow. I hope that he has incredible success this year. I hope that he has 10 touchdowns. I hope he has a great year. But it's hard for me to invite someone to this that just started playing the position when I can't invite a guy that's been playing it for 8 to 10 years. It's just hard for me. Did you see that? You saw the clip of them, right? Those two look like rejects from the WWE, the tag team, him and Tunyon. Kittle and Tunyon. They both have, he's got his man bun, and Tunyon's got his hair back in a ponytail.
Hawks even got the...
Is he rocking it too?
Oh, yeah.
He grew his hair out.
Oh, my goodness.
You saw that Kingsford commercial, didn't you?
Yeah.
No, I have not seen it.
He's Hawks dressed up like a cowboy.
Yeah. Didn't they do, him and Kittle did a...
Kittle's dressed up like he's a lucha libre guy.
That's cool.
Dude, they're going to be like the next tag team wrestling. It's going to be great. They're going to be like Hawk and... Animal from the Road Warriors.
Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe?
When's Manders?
He's down.
He's still holding belts, man.
Yeah. I don't know when he's going to be coming back around
here.
here.
Asked Merrick, man. Dang it. If I'd have known Tom was coming in today, I would have asked.
Yeah, that's true.
But Jay don't tell me nothing.
No, I'd like to drop surprises on him.
I'm just giving him a hard time.
All right.
How you been, Tom?
Yeah.
Doing all right.
We've been talking about Luka today because the NBA
lottery's tonight.
The lottery's tonight. The NBA Combine starts this week with Joe Wieskamp and Luka Garza both
Saw
there.
that, yeah.
So I just was looking. They're sending out some of the height, weight measurements type stuff. Wingspan. I saw some of the wingspan stuff.
On the mock drafts, Luka's nowhere to be found. What's going on?
He's on some of them.
Okay.
I think the interesting thing is if you look at some of the pictures of him recently, he's dropped like 20 pounds. And he looks skinny, and I think that's kind of where he knows he's got to be athletically. I don't know if his foot speed's going to improve a whole lot, but he's going to have to play outside more. You know, where in college he could do a lot of his business down the block and score on people. That's probably not going to happen. That's not going to be the big thing, part of his game. He's going to be a stretch five in the NBA. Wieskamp, I'm interested to see what the NBA people think of him. His stock seems to be coming up. He's been out in Las Vegas working with some training people. He's definitely staying in.
So he's not coming back to Iowa? Are you 100% sure now?
I am 99.9% sure.
Oh, you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah.
You're telling me there's a chance?
Mr. Lloyd Christmas over there.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the chance he's coming back.
There's always a chance, but I don't.
But Fran's been having a great recruiting class, has he not? In your eyes?
He's doing okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he's doing okay. You know, they've got a commitment recently from DeSante Bowen, but he's for next year,
right?
The following year. He's a point guard out of, goes to Brewster Academy out in New Hampshire, but he's from Boston. He's a kid they've recruited for a while. He's about 6'3", kind of a point guard. You know, some kind of a player that they've been trying to get. Now they've got to, I think they've got to try and find a couple shooters. They've got a kid on campus yesterday named Jaden Schutt, who's from the Chicago area, 6'5" kid, really shoot it, but he is Michigan State's really hard in after him, so he's going to be a tough one to get. Also on campus today, Aiden Shaw, who's a 6'6" kid out of Kansas, and Kansas is after him too. It's a tough list, but Iowa definitely is in the mix. So he's on campus today. They'll have Kyle Popowski come in early July for an official visit. He's a 6'10" kid from Northeast who is, you know, kind of a stretch four. So they're trying to get you know, a shooting guard. This past weekend was the first weekend that coaches could be out, and Fran was up in Minnesota watching a kid from Council Bluffs, a guy named Josh Dix, who's from Abraham Lincoln High School out there, 6'5" kid that they had on campus for an unofficial. He was supposed to go to Purdue for the weekend, but Purdue got a commitment from somebody else, so they've discontinued their recruitment of him.
Huh.
So
Wow.
Josh just got an offer from Minnesota on Monday, so they're in the mix. Nebraska is in the mix. So we'll see if they can get him. I think that would be maybe the most likely of the guys right now, but they definitely need to get another wing shooter in this next class. Probably 2. They've got 3 scholarships because Philip Rabracha, the big kid who transferred in from North Dakota, told us a couple weeks ago that he was going to stay for 2 years, which he could.
Yeah, well, that's good.
So,
switching gears to football, I saw a report from Pro Football Focus. They had Iowa as the 9th best team in the country.
Oh, for football? Yeah. I think that might be a little bold.
Okay.
Just because of the questions on the defensive line and the questions that still are there about Spencer Petras. I think you probably could even throw some questions about the offensive line in there too, a little bit, but I'm fairly bullish on the offensive line. But you've had a coaching change there.
Yeah, their focus was on Linderbaum and another one of the guys coming back.
Kyler
Schott. And then obviously they were very high on Goodson.
Yeah, Goodson. I think Tyrone Tracy's really poised for a big year. Regani get healthy. I like Keegan Johnson, the freshman. I think he's going to impact the game as a wide receiver. Kind of just give him the ball and let him do things. Arlen Bruce, maybe the same thing. I think the tight ends are going to be really good with Laporta, Lachey.
Yeah.
I wish Mark Kellenberger would have come back because I think it would have just given him kind of a steady left tackle. That not that Jack Plum is bad, but just it's new for him.
Mm-hmm.
And there's kind of a domino effect. I would keep an eye on Mason Richmond. He's a kid that I would really watch this year. I think he's after Linderbaum. I think he's going to be the next big name Iowa offensive lineman. But I just think the defensive line, I don't worry about it too much. I think they figure it out. But there's just, how are you going to generate 30 sacks from that first? Because that's when they're good, is when they get 30 sacks. And, can you get 30 sacks out of Noah Shannon, John Wagner, Zach Van Valkenburg, Logan Jones if he's healthy? I don't know. I got to see it.
Well, yesterday is the bigger thing to talk about. The U.S. Supreme Court ruling, the 9-0 against the NCAA.
And it wasn't, that ruling was fairly limited. It was to educational expenses kind of things. So it was.
Let's start explaining it to people.
In scope, that ruling doesn't overturn the apple cart. What Justice Kavanaugh wrote overturns the apple cart.
Yeah, right. Essentially, there you go.
It was pretty scathing.
I kind of made a prediction to a couple friends of mine yesterday. I haven't really thrown it out there on social media or on the message boards, but I kind of wonder if college athletes don't start to organize this summer. Because some of that groundwork has been laid with Jordan Bohannon's work, and I just wonder and you go back to King Coulter at Northwestern, and if these players just start to come together and say, we want to collectively bargain for some rights here, and we're not going to work if...
Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's go back first to what you said about Justice Kavanaugh. Here's his quote: "Nowhere else in America can businesses get away with agreeing not to pay their workers a fair market rate on theory that their product is defined by not paying their workers a fair market rate. Law firms cannot conspire to cabin lawyers' salaries in the name of providing legal services out of a love of law. Hospitals cannot agree to cap nurses' income in order to create a pure form of helping the sick." What he's talking about is it's conspiring to not pay the people that are working. Jay Bills, who's on ESPN, the podcast today, explained that. Jay Bills, former Duke basketball player, he's an ESPN analyst and he's a lawyer. He explained it to this. All right, he's like, let's just say you're going to go, it's the year like 1990, I think, Home Alone's coming out. And you tell everyone that, yeah, you're going to go see the next Macaulay Culkin film, this film's going to be great and everything, and it's basically, are you going to go support a movie? Are you going to, that you know that they're going to provide education for these children, they're going to provide meals for these children, there's going to be some housing while they're on set. Oh, by the way, though, they're not paying these kids anything. to do this movie. Are you going to support that movie? And it's kind of what he's using the comparison is.
That's a great
you're going, you can, they're giving education, they're giving housing, they're giving food, but they're saying we're not paying them though. And there is a little thing in this. I know they're not children, but in the end, it's still a thing like that. And
it's tough when you're a college athlete and you're looking at coaches' salaries keep going up. You see all the new buildings going up.
Yeah.
The
universities are making
tons of money. You see the NCAA basketball tournament making $1 billion. You see the numbers that are going to get thrown around for this college football playoff, which is not run by the NCAA, by the way. It's run by those.
We could talk about the NCAA playoff in the second half.
But they are going to they're going to print money, basically.
Yeah.
With that 12-team playoff, and that's what that was about, is to kind of help some of these conferences and teams and schools kind of dig out of this financial hole of COVID.
Well, they might be in a little bit of a financial hole, but I'm sorry, I think a lot of these universities are doing just fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I got some numbers in front of you for
Iowa, for example. Part of the reason why Iowa decided that it's time to sell beer at Kinnick.
Why is that reason, Cake?
That's because they've got a $50 million hole from last year that they had to get essentially what was a bridge loan from.
But did they not have money built up already from years past? That hole just took everything?
Yeah.
Well, that's poor management of money, if you ask me.
But
all right.
Capital projects and everything else. They had a little bit of a rainy day fund, but nobody had a rainy day fund at that. Well, I should say nobody. Some schools did.
And that's I know that.
Some schools did, and I think some of those are in endowments, and some of those are not. You can't touch them. Like some of those Ivy League schools. I mean, they've got all these $1 billion worth of endowments, but they couldn't touch them.
All right, that's what I was getting at. So Iowa didn't have anything like that then?
No, not for the athletic department. I mean, for the university side, yes.
Well, the NCAA revenue 2019 versus 2020. TV and marketing rights fees in 2019, they brought in $867.5 million. In 2020, $165.2 million. That is a $70 million drop.
Overall?
Yeah. Championship money that they would bring in from championships and NIT tournaments in 2019, $177.9 million. In 2020, $15.8 million. Sales, service, and everything money they got from, they had $58.5 million. 2020 it dropped to 27.7, so basically in half.
I got a question here on the T-Roy thread.
Sure.
And this is from Fick.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying nonprofits, can they have reserves and make that income? Do you get the question there? Am I wording it right?
Is it a nonprofit?
Is it a nonprofit? The university is a nonprofit, correct?
Yes.
So can they so is it they probably can't have the reserves?
They can have endowments though.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. You get they endow scholarships and stuff like that. That's just part of how they operate. But the beer thing was, it's a money grab. Let's put a little bit more, dirt in that hole and fill it up, the hole that we have from last year. So it's, and that's why they're doing the playoff. I mean, let's be honest. That's why they're going to expand the playoff in 2 years. They won't do it this year. They probably won't do it next year because they want all of the. There's the rotation of the New Year's Six bowls, so they want all of those bowls to have 2 shots at being host sites for the semifinals and everything, and that will conclude in 2 years. So I think that's probably what they're going to do.
And then it gives all the other bowls time to figure out what they're going to do.
What
you know what I'm saying. So
yeah,
there'll still be bowl games.
Yeah. What I think they're going to do is you're going to need with the quarterfinals and semifinals, you're going to need 6 bowls. So I think those New Year's 6 bowls will just be those bowls,
right,
for the quarterfinals and for the semifinals.
Yeah.
And then they'll just bid out the championship game. So it could go to Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. It could go to SoFi in LA. It could go to, if Jerry World wants to bid on it.
Arlington.
Yeah.
Arlington Heights, Chicago. I mean, Illinois.
Yes.
Yeah, Arlington Park or whatever. Arlington Heights,
Minnesota too.
2030.
Yeah. Nobody. It's not good. Yeah, 2033. You mean when the lease is up in Soldier? Yeah. So yeah, it'll be in Arlington Heights that hosts the NCAA.
I hope they do.
I hope they do too.
It's hard as a Bears fan. It is really hard to get to Soldier Field.
Mhm.
It is hard to. There's not much parking down there. It's just there's not much public transportation there. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get to for a game. Just is.
Yep. No, I have no problem with it. All right, so you mentioned that in scope, what it is that it is what the Supreme Court says that schools can provide things that are for education related, meaning laptops, tutors, paid internships,
sure,
postgraduate scholarships, type of thing.
Yeah.
So because that's what the immediate fear everyone's thinking is that someone like the University of Texas is going to say, hey, you're going to get this amount of money, we're going to give you a spot at the car dealership. But what really, we haven't even done the name, image, and likeness yet.
That is what's interesting that this came down this week is that this week is also, I believe, the Board of Governors for the NCAA is supposed to meet. I think that was what the Mark Emmert had told them to essentially, let's come up with a plan for NIL, name, image, likeness, by this date, because states aren't going to go live July 1st.
Yes.
And how are you going to enforce, well, the kids in Florida and Georgia and New Mexico can start making deals, but the kid in Iowa, Illinois, Ohio cannot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me ask you this: can the kid in Ohio and Illinois,
and are they going to?
Can they make money in Florida doing it?
And are they going to
follow me?
Yeah. And are they going to enforce it? Where states, where the NCAA is the NCAA just going to say, you know what, you guys can all do it? That's what I think they're going to try and say. But I've heard that it's going to be kind of a half measure, and I don't know what that meant, but maybe not as expansive or extensive as it should be. Kind of limited in scope. I'm still of the opinion that 99% of the guys in college athletics are not going to make a ton of money on name, image, likeness. You might get what you would almost call like pizza money.
Mm-hmm.
A couple $100.
Yeah.
Showing up here, doing this, or if you put on a camp, something like that.
But at least let them have the opportunity.
Yeah, they should have the opportunity. Absolutely.
I think what Justice Kavanaugh is
Justice Kavanaugh
knocking on is
saying
share the wealth.
Universities should be paying their players a percentage of the revenue.
Yes.
It is much like the NFL, where the revenue is, I think it's pretty close to 50-50 revenue share.
I think it's like 52, 48, I think it is. It's right in that general area. Yes.
Basically, what they're making comes back in salary, and that's where you get your salary cap and so on. So I think that's going to be the interesting part, because how are you going, if it goes that way, it obviously cannot be equal. It can't be 50-50, because you're also giving them tuition, room, board, stipend for.
Well, that comes off the percentage then.
Yeah, is it going to end up being 25%?
That's still good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good, right?
Absolutely.
And then at the same time, I think
But are
me.
you going to give that then to the non-rep sports? Do you have to give them to to the swim team, to the tennis player?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Why not?
I'm just bringing that up.
So you sell beer at every one of those events. That's how you pay for it.
Yeah.
But Tom, hear me out here too. Especially for the football players, basketball players that we know some of them are going to be going pro. They're getting this money coming in. At the same time, you can say, okay, this is how you learn to manage this kind of money. This is how you're learning. You're teaching them at the same time what they're going to expect as a pro. If college in general, if you're going to go there to get an education, you're getting your education in football, basketball, whatever it is, and you're moving pro, they should be able to teach you everything you need to learn when you get to the next level. Much like if you're a lawyer, doctor, whatever else, you're learning everything you need to get to the next level.
Yeah.
And I think this could help them.
And there are some players who are doing some stuff. Tyler Goodson's doing that YouTube series right now, chronicling his preparation. And he said if I make some money off of this and we don't have NIL rights, then he's just going to donate whatever that revenue is based on people watching the YouTube thing. He'll donate that to the Children's Hospital.
Oh, that's good.
So there's a way around it, but you're seeing guys also preparing for this and trying to market themselves and trying to build their brand. Of the people that are in Iowa athletics right now, who's the most marketable guys?
Tyler Goodson, McCaffrey, the Connor, probably the
Peaches,
Keegan Murray,
quarterback.
Peaches,
I would
maybe.
say who I think is the most marketable athlete at the university.
Oh, Spencer Lee.
No.
Probably.
Point guard for the women's team.
Yep, Caitlin Clark.
Oh yeah. That's a really good one. Yeah,
Caitlin Clark.
that's a really good one. All right, we got to take a break here.
Spencer Lee was right there.
Yeah, we got to take a break.
Linderbaum too.
Don't Ask Local here on ESPN. We're here with Hawkeye Reports. Tom Kakert. We'll be right back. Talk a little bit more about the Hawkeyes, and then I do want to talk a little bit about the players, maybe a collective bargaining, organizing.
Front Street Brewery is the oldest brew pub in Iowa, and they are rocking downtown at the Freight House Complex, the tap room. You can go down there and check them out during the farmers market, or just go right down the street to 208 East River Drive and enjoy some food at the restaurant. And while you're there, all the beers on tap are so good. They have Davenport Gold, Wise Guy, Raging River, and Jaybird's favorite, the Cherry Bomb Blonde. If you need to check out their food and drink specials, try them on Facebook or go to www.frontstreetbrew.com. Those are our friends from Front Street Brewery. Remember the restaurant, 208 East River Drive, in the tap room in the Freight House Complex.
I ate there last week. Fish and chips is fantastic.
Did you
Juicy
really?
Lucy. Yeah.
You did Juicy Lucy?
Yeah, get after it. Go down there and check it out. All right, be right back.
I drank their Mahalo again the other day. That's fucking good. I gotta get that back on tap.
I offered to kick them out of it yesterday.
Oh, really?
Oh.
They got that freshman from East Ballard.
Then Town
Right?
Square can help.
Yeah.
Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a
Really
quick
Jacob
competitive
This is
analysis
sophomore.
that will show you how the most successful businesses grow
6'6",
and how you
280.
can do it too. These strategies are simple, and we can show you how to apply them to your business. Be one of the first businesses to sign up, and you'll receive $500 in free advertising
I
on
see,
each radio station. Visit
Kuvort got involved in Picklegate.
Yes, they did.
What did they do?
They made
My wife was like, she goes, what are they doing? And I said, I think it's something going on in the Quad City.
Yeah, what did she make up there? You guys made a...
So it's like an appetizer.
Yeah, but you guys did something with a...
They gave it to the food bank.
Yeah. They quoted Alex in the paper article.
There was an article about Picklegate?
Yes.
Made the front page of the Quad City
The front page above the
Where
polls.
was I at? I get the
No,
every day.
you didn't
It was
see
on a
that?
Saturday.
Oh, maybe I wasn't at the gym. That
How's
was
Mike
last
Nickel?
Saturday, right?
Kyle's got a copy of it. He's framed it.
What's Mike Nickel doing?
He's hanging out at Oscars every day.
Yeah.
Every day. He's got a table. He sits looking for porn. He gets...
Does he have young boys coming over to him?
No, it's dudes, though, always.
Is he bench pressing anybody?
I haven't seen it happen yet. But dudes, he sits there in the corner. He has a rum and coke and a water.
He'll
Does he
find
know
it.
you?
He walked up to me. I came in. Jay was there too, and so I'm walking in, and all of a sudden he comes up like this. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna get weird. He goes, hey, I just want to thank you. We just love coming to this place. I'm like, oh, hey, well, cool. I'm glad you like it. It's great. And I'm like, all right, yeah, awesome. And then the next day, it's like he forgot he did it, and he comes up to me and says the same exact thing again.
Oh, I hate people like that.
And I'm like, yeah, that's great.
condition.
Yeah, he's a...
Hey, we should, when we come back, talk about Iowa has a huge recruiting weekend.
Okay. Stories at the Hotel Blackhawk to raise money for Big Brothers Big Sisters.
I'm Matt Ostrom from Active Endeavors. You can help kids in the Quad Cities by supporting
Did you put in for
Register as
stuff
an
for the
individual
classic
or
or no?
grab a friend and sign up as a
No, I
daring
will
do
though. Just to do it. I think I have to go. Yeah, I'll
For
check
more
it out.
information, go to overtheedgeqc.org.
Find a friend and go over the edge.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like the world is throwing everything
Yeah,
at
every
you.
day, Tom.
And to succeed, you need someone
He's there
to guide you
practically.
through. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do.
Did Randazzo ever send you that picture that he sent us?
No.
You know, Dustin Nolan and his wife had a
XPS
baby.
13 laptops powered by Intel Evo platform. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL.
I'm Steve Weisman with NFL Network Now and the Westwood One Radio Network. Monday was a truly momentous day for the NFL. Raiders veteran defensive lineman Carl Nassib became the first active NFL player in history to announce that he is gay. Commissioner Roger Goodell releasing a statement in support.
Here it is.
saying the NFL fans
So, Dustin had a kid, and there's a picture of Dustin and his wife, and they put put Nickel in there. So I go, is that real? And he goes, no, it's Photoshop.
Oh, God. He is a weird, weird man. Just... I don't know what he does. I mean, is he still doing his communications company at all? Or, I mean, how does that work?
He's... I don't know. I think he's waiting for everything to
blow over.
Blow?
Oh, it's blowing over because no one picked it up and ran.
No, they don't want to do it. They don't want anything to do with it. A kid was like basically sick about it. He's like, I just obviously he's worked there for 20 some years before, but he's just like, he's like, I can't believe that they just wanted to just go away and act like it's not a big deal. So I can't do anything about it.
There's nothing that will happen from
Picture
it.
this. Picture the
Nope.
Girl Scout Thin Mints Blizzard.
But if he was making them females do that in bikinis or whatever else, oh Jesus.
Cool mint and world famous DQ soft serve. You smile the biggest smile you've ever smiled. It's a double smile because your two favorites, DQ and Girl Scout Thin Mints, are together in one delicious treat. And the only reason you stop smiling is so you can start eating. The Girl Scout Thin Mints Blizzard, exclusively
You
at
should
DQ.
have me curl
Get
you
it
on
delivered
air
at
last
DQ.com. DQ.
What do you mean?
Happy taste
From the Vegas
We get to a whole spoof, Jay. I got a whole thing. We can do a whole film and spoof. Oh man, he said live mics during the football commercial.
No, he didn't.
On Facebook, he said. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Who did?
Alright.
Is it bad?
I don't know.
Who cares? Don't worry about it. Don't.
I'm not.
Okay. Welcome back. Don't Ask Us Local here on ESPN 1170 AM. Hey, this month, 40-year anniversary of Stripes.
Stripes?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of interesting.
Tito Puente is going to be dead, and you're going to say, I've been listening to him forever.
I can't believe I can't, I can't believe it's been 40 years. I was blown away. I'm like, there's no way that was 81.
Tito Puente is dead, by the way.
Yeah, I know. There's no. I was like, there's no way it's 81. But yes, sure as can be. That movie's great.
What?
Is that
Stripes? 40 years.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, is that Bill Murray's greatest role?
No.
Okay. Is that his apex? What's his greatest role? Ghostbusters?
He's pretty good at Ghostbusters.
Carl Spackler?
Well,
He's not
Caddyshack was
leading
good,
it,
but he
though.
wasn't the lead. I mean, that was a great role.
It's got to be,
Let me
right?
think.
It's got to be, right?
I mean,
It's Ghostbusters.
You think?
It's Ghostbusters.
Really? I'd watch Stripes over Ghostbusters in a heartbeat. I mean, that So he's at that point where there's like
Ghostbusters was written for John Belushi.
Kyle
Did you
Loomis
watch
says,
that? Did you watch that Belushi doc that was on? That's great, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Loomis says Kingpin. I don't know about that. That's
God,
He's
so
a
good.
bit part.
Bigger and McCracken.
Bigger and
hey,
that hair.
How you doing?
Not you.
You.
That's my other one. That's my favorite line. Hey, how you doing? Not you. You need supplemental income. Supplemental. He's eating that grits supplemental or oatmeal. He is good in Kingpin now.
Oh, he's so good in Kingpin.
But Stripes is the one that's put him on the map, right?
Yeah.
What did he turn down? He turned down.
Well, Stripes is definitely up there, but I don't know. I still think it's Ghostbusters, but that's fine. I can live with Stripes.
What about Bob?
What about Bob?
So
It's good.
He's great in that.
I'm
What did he
looking
turn
through his-
down? Hold on, I just heard this the other day. He turned down something to do Meatballs.
Oh God!
And the
Meatballs.
other one was better.
Meatballs
Gosh,
is
what
pretty
was
He was
it?
in Space Jam too, by the way.
Yeah, he was in Space Jam. Yes.
I'm going through his
Terrible
filmography.
movie.
I'm going through his filmography. Royal Tenenbaums is terrific. Terrific movie.
Yeah.
He's not much in that though. He's better in Rushmore than
Yeah.
he just plays the husband. And Gene Hackman was amazing in Royal Tenenbaums.
Scrooged was pretty good.
Yeah, Scrooge is good.
Groundhog Day was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I just thought that was kind of crazy. All right, so you were mentioning that you think that the players after this Supreme Court, this is going to open the door a lot for a lot of different suits that are going to happen. You think the players are going to make it some type of collective bargaining agreement, make a union? So basically, are scholarships going to turn into contracts?
I think so.
Something like you have to play, there's anywhere from a 1 to 3 year deal or a 4 year deal or 5 year or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I think too. I think you're going to start hearing different terminology. Instead of scholarships, it'll be more contracts.
Yeah.
Now,
it's where we're going to head.
Mhm.
I'm just waiting to see if student athletes organize, because they hold all the power, because they are the workers.
Mhm.
They're the labor force in this. There is no college football or college basketball without it. I've been waiting for that moment for a long time, where they just kind of, you're at a Final Four and the players just say, you know what, we're not going to play. What's the NCAA going to do?
Crap their pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but really, the basketball players are the ones that are going to have to make the stand, right? Because the biggest money raised by the NCAA is the tournament.
Yes.
Right?
Or the that's the NCAA.
Right.
But even the college football playoff.
But the NCAA doesn't make the money off that, right?
That's not an NCAA. It's a group of 5 run business, but they're also the non-power 5s are involved in that, or obviously going to be, because they have to sign into that 12-team playoff.
If they refuse to play, then there goes all the money from the advertising.
At some point, the players are just going to say, you know what, we're the workforce. We're going on strike until you agree to collectively bargain with us, and here are our demands.
Before we talk about recruiting that's coming up, there was, again, talking about, when I listened to that podcast with Jay Billis on Explain It, he also was, the whole thing that started in a case back in like 1985, I believe, or 84, 85. But then it became to light somewhere around 94 with Ed O'Banion from UCLA.
Yeah.
And that's the EA Sports.
It was the EA Sports
the
game.
name, image, likeness. And Jay Billis made a good point about this. He actually was the voice of one year of that, doing that EA Sports basketball. And he did, over like 2 days, he was in a recording studio. But he also did something that, this is what he said, kind of tipped his hat that like something's not right. They were having him say things like Hansborough, O'Banion, names that are in there. Now, if you remember the EA Sports game, it would all be just a number, okay? They would look just like him.
Number 34.
Yeah, they would,
Number
they would look
55.
just like him. They would have their exact like height, weight, everything else, their stats. But he would say those names. You could go in and edit the players, and somehow this computer would perfectly say their name. So Billis is like, this isn't on the up and up. I don't get it. So he said, you've got these players who look like him, whatever else, and they have stats. How come the coaches don't look like they're supposed to? How come it doesn't look like Coach K? How come it doesn't look like John Thompson at Georgetown? How come it doesn't look like Roy Williams? And they said, because we'd have to pay them. And that's there. It was like the best kept secret, but it was like obviously out there. Like, duh, we'd have to pay the coaches.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's incredible, and that it's happening. It's going to be weird to see what goes forward, in the terminology of like contracts over scholarships. So what's going on with recruiting this weekend at Iowa?
Well, I want to mention one thing.
Sure. Sure.
We have a free trial at HawkeyeReport.com right now.
Oh, yes.
Premium access until 8/10/21. Our promo code is it's on our front page. The promo code visits 2021, and you can get that now until August, middle of August, and it's free access. So jump on board today. But this weekend is Iowa's big recruiting visit weekend. This is their first major official visit group coming in. They recently, the big talking point has been quarterback and who's going to be the quarterback in this class. They take one quarterback. Now they've offered Caton Hauser, a kid from Bellflower, California, which former Hawkeye is from Bellflower, California, basketball player.
Former Hawkeye from that would be Stevie Carfino.
Steve Carfino.
Good job.
Boom.
T-Roy.
I knew T-Roy would get that one. I had a feeling.
Good job.
So he's currently committed to Boise State, but he visited Michigan State last weekend. So I don't know that he's really committed, right? If he's visiting, that's like dating when you're engaged, right?
Mm-hmm.
It happens a lot.
Does?
I mean, you get cold feet. Huh?
You don't get married though, do you?
Well, no.
The marriage usually doesn't work well.
And if you're
so
smart.
They're hoping that he's going to come in and visit this weekend. Aiden Lowry, a kid from Gibson City, Illinois, running back, seems to be their top target right now. A kid named Ian Pugh from Oak Park, Illinois, was committed to Cincinnati, just decommitted on Monday, is going to be making his official visit this weekend, along with another kid from Palatine, Illinois, Jacob Bostic. So those two wide receivers, I was looking to get one or two. So I thought it was interesting that Pugh decommitted this weekend with the visit to Iowa coming up. One of the more interesting positions will be...
They just finished their season too, right?
Yeah, the Illinois kids did. Yeah. Tight end, where you've got three guys, and I think they're essentially competing for 2 tight end spots, and they're all really good. Micah Riley Ducker is a kid from Nebraska, 4-star. I think he might be leaning Iowa a little bit, and Andrew Keller from Wisconsin, who I think is really close to committing as well. Another kid to watch, though, Tommy McIntosh, who made an unofficial about a week ago and now is coming in for an official visit. So those three. At offensive line, Iowa's probably going to take 4. It looks like right now they've got 2. Cale Krogh is on board. He was the kid from Ballard that recently committed. And Jack Dosler, who's a high school teammate of Andrew Keller, he is coming in. He's already committed. So they've got 2 guys coming in this weekend, Landon Livingston and Carson Hintzman. Hintzman, a 4-star from Indiana. And Livingston is a 3-star from Indiana as well. Defensive line, they've got 2 commitments, Aaron Graves and Caden Crawford. Graves is a 4-star kid. He was the first commit in this class. They're probably looking to add 1 or 2 more. Hunter Deo, a kid from Council Bluffs, is the 4-star defensive tackle that I think is probably high on their list. And then Chase Carter is another kid to watch. He's also visiting this weekend. At linebacker, they've got a commit from Jerry Montgomery's son, Jaden, recently. He's from Wisconsin, lives in Wisconsin now. And then defensive back is the area that I'm kind of really interested in because they need to add some bodies back there. And there's just not a lot on the board. Christian Stokes, a kid from Detroit, is visiting this weekend, a 3-star. Also making an unofficial visit this weekend, Xavier Wampa, the kid from Southeast Polk, who's the top one of the top safeties in the entire country in this class, and he would be a huge get. I think a lot of people think maybe Texas A&M or Ohio State might be in front for him, but Iowa's going to make their pitch this weekend as he makes an unofficial visit. So it's a busy weekend.
It is. And then the freshman from West Buchanan, that just gave a
Fox.
verbal commit.
Yeah.
Same high school as Gallery.
Yeah, same high school as
And
Gallery, and his brother Taylor is on
Yeah.
the team. So Cody Fox and Charlie Jagashaw from Rock Island Alleman, 2023 kid, got an offer from Iowa last night. So we have a story on Charlie. Super nice kid. He's blown up, and he hasn't even camped anywhere.
Wow.
Because he's banged up during the season.
Yeah.
And he got an offer from Mizzou, and he's going down to visit LSU.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I know. I was like, whoa, okay,
Yeah.
Charlie.
So, talking about the Iowa football, the season that's coming up, we're at full capacity. That means tailgating too, everything, right?
Yeah. A lot of, I think everything is trending towards everybody being there. I should mention there's a bunch of local kids that are going to be camping at Iowa. I think it's this weekend, too. I think a bunch of the PV kids, Van Wetziga and all those guys are camping at Iowa. Maybe I think it's this weekend. So a lot of local kids going up for camp. So big deal.
Yeah. I think that's it.
How about PV having the number one team in state baseball?
They're good. They're really good. And Assumption's got theirs in.
Is Moomy on that team?
Well, Assumption was 2, right? Yeah, Moomy's on that team.
Okay.
He's batting 3 and playing left or right field. So I looked at the lineup the other day. Koss was out there and he had them going. They're a really solid team. I know the Assumption softball team's really well. Number 1, and there's Muscatine's up there as well. If they're not 1, they're 2, and they're A. And then the baseball team does well.
Yeah, Muscatine softball's.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's the Muscatine softball. They knocked off Valley, the defending state champion, and then they were 1. I don't know if they did, if it happened. Anything changed from there, but Assumption's are really good.
Well,
and
doesn't
softball's
L&M always have a pretty good team too?
They did for a while. I don't know if they're back there, but they were in the state finals, I think, a couple years ago.
Yeah, I remember
for
that.
back-to-back. Winning a title that I don't know. The Muscatine got boosted because not only were they really good, they had a good run last year, but then they had a girl who previously hadn't gone out for softball because she played travel ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I didn't know that was a thing until somebody told me that the other day. One of my neighbors has a daughter who's really good, and she was like, yeah, she's going to play just travel ball and not play. There's some coaches in the area who don't like their players to play travel ball.
I don't understand why. But Illinois is so like, all right. Really, it's
this
so
was an
strange.
Iowa side.
Okay, well, because Illinois starts earlier in the year.
Yep.
And really, you don't get ramped up into your season until May of your travel ball schedule. You really are playing. You might sprinkle in a few tournaments in April, late April, but really it's every weekend in May, every weekend in June, and that's usually like your states at the last weekend in June. Like, for example, we're going to Des Moines this weekend for state. And Iowa doesn't like it because Iowa doesn't start till May, like the first or second week in May, and then they're going to lose them. Now they play all summer long. Traditionally, in the MAC side, they play on Monday and Thursday nights, but they do have weekend tournaments, and you have to make a decision. To be honest with you, I think you're probably going to get recruited more out of travel ball.
That's the feeling.
That's honest. Now, I know, like, Farrell at Assumption wouldn't want me to say that or anything like that, but you're on the Iowa side. You're going to get more out of the travel ball and camps.
Hey, speaking of decisions, I should bring up Brody Brecht, the wide receiver from Ankeny, who's a football commit, who's also a really good baseball pitcher. A lot of people might remember when I think it was maybe the semifinals last year of state or quarterfinals, they played PV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Brecht pitched against him and was throwing 98.
Oh, boy.
And he's in the mid to upper 90s this year already. And there was some pro scouts at his game recently. Coach Heller was there because he's planning on playing baseball at Iowa too.
Mm-hmm.
And he's maybe going to, I saw he even got mentioned in an ESPN article about the baseball draft coming up. Just that some I'm wondering if some team is it's gonna cost them a lot of money.
That's interesting because and I know that the draft is completely different now that they've changed things.
20
up.
rounds. But if you're a team that drafts a bunch of college guys that aren't going to can't command a bunch of bonus money, you're going to have a bunch of bonus money left in like the 4th round. And if Brody Breck's there, you say, Brody, if we give you a $1.5 million signing bonus, will you come? Will you come play baseball?
Boy. Yeah.
It's an interesting decision. It's something that's going to be coming up in July with the Major League Baseball draft. And it's only 20 rounds now. So
Yeah, it's different.
It used to be like 40.
Yeah, it's different if you're that much later and you can just say whatever else. But yeah, that is a big decision.
But he's playing it right. He's saying, I'm going to college and I want to play football because that's driving up your price tag.
Yeah.
It drives up that price tag.
Well, Kyler Murray just came out last week, says he still wants to play baseball.
Yeah. Well, he played that game too.
Yeah.
He got a bunch of money out of the A's.
Yeah.
And then he ended up going playing football and making even more money. I don't know if he had to pay that bonus back that he got from the A's.
I forget.
I can't remember if he did or not. He got a ton of money.
Hey, if you can do it, right? You're only young once, but it's a hard decision for a 17, 18-year-old to make. I don't know. Before because we still have to do our commercial break before we're done for the show. Tell everybody again about the free trial at Hawkeye Report.
Yeah, so we've got a free trial going until August 18th. Basically, you come to the site. It's right on our front page, and you can see it. It says free trial, premium access until 8/10/21. Promo code is visits2021. You click on that link, and you can get a free trial. And it's a good weekend to do it because we're going to be wall-to-wall with the visits. I'm going to be over at we should mention if fans want to go out and support something that's really worthwhile, the Justin Sharp Shootout is over at Rock Island, and schools like Iowa City West, Waukee, Rocks will be there. Moline, it's got a really good team. That's this weekend over at Rock Island and over at PepsiCo.
Okay.
So you can find that. And also, we should mention Jake Gervais has his Rally for Reed camp on Sunday over at St. Vincent's. And they'll, I think you could probably still sign up if you've got kids that want to do that. It's for primarily for younger, like 10 to 12-year-old kind of kids, I think.
That's fantastic.
But Tristan Wirfs is going to be there, Josie Jewell, Nate Stanley, Jake's going to be there. I think Nikki Easley is going to be there. Quite a few guys are going to, former Hawks are going to all be there teaching these young kids. So, I mean, you can go see Tristan Wirfs. I mean,
yeah. You can go try and wrestle him, too.
Yeah.
Cakes, thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Really do. T-Roy.
Thanks, sir.
We're off tomorrow. White Sox game. We'll be back on Thursday. You guys take care. Stay safe and sanitized out there, Quad Cities. See you later, Hasslers.
You like that? You like that? We're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody!
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!